Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 408th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As a lot of you will know, I put battles on from months ago, weeks ago, and days ago, but this battle was fought last night, Friday the 13th of September. Okay, Friday the 13th of September. As you know, Friday the 13th is supposed to be unlucky. I wonder who is going to be unlucky for, us or them. As you can see, we're fighting this on a custom map supplied by Brotherhood member Crypto. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Bark, who has bought 15 pikes, 3 archers, and 2 heavy chariots. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Mad King, who has bought the Carthage faction, and he has got 20 sacred spearmen. No cavalry, no slingers, just 20 sacred band spearmen there. Be interesting to see how well that army does. Our third teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who has bought the Macedon faction. This is a very old army of 15 pikes and 5 Cretan archers. As you know, I like to bring old armies to the modern day battlefield to see how well it will do. As I say, this is a very old army, no cavalry, just 15 pikes, 5 Cretan archers. And our final teammate is RV Clansman Corndog. A lot of you know him, very good player. As you can see, he's bought the SPQR faction, and he has got 13 infantry, 4 archers, and 3 cavalry. So you can see the diversity in our team here. Only one Rome, Pontus, Carthage, and Macedon. But you wait till you see the other team. They've got a lot of diversity too, and this could be a classic battle for you to watch. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Crypto, the host of this battle, and he's bought he's bought an experimental Seleucid army of 10 pikes, 4 archers, and 6 cataphract cavalry. Okay, so that's an experimental Seleucid army. Be interesting to see how well it does. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member JGB, who has bought the Germania faction. Now, he's got an unusual army build here. He's got 8 spearmen, 2 archers, 5 cavalry, and 3 berserkers. So there's no knight raiders, no chosen axemen there. So he's got a very unusual army there. It'd be interesting to see how well that army build does during the course of the battle. Their third teammate is Brotherhood member Steve Longshanks, who has bought the Greek cities faction. Now, Steve's been trying new armies and new formations, and he has become really good with Greek cities. There's no doubt about that. He's extremely good with them. And as you can see there, he's got 12 Spartans and 4 of the cheap archers. And if you notice, the back line of his formation there have got 7 upgrades. So he's got an experience stripe on that back line of Spartans there. So he's always got his elite troops to fight at the end of the battle there as the enemy goes through his other units there. So that's a nice formation there, a nice army. Okay, their fourth teammate is Brotherhood member Dionysus, who has bought the Rome Julii faction. Now, he's got an unusual army build, 17 infantry and 3 cavalry. But why do you think he's got a wide formation like that? Okay, that formation there is built specifically to take on pike and spear units. Okay, he doesn't need a pilot shield unit because he's up against spears and pikes, you see. So he doesn't need pilot shield units, so he's got a wide formation there where he can lock spears and pikes on his forward units there, where he can bring other units round the flank. You see, with a wide formation, it makes it easier to flank spear and pike units there. So he's hoping that they'll attack him head on so he can do that flanking action. So there's the other team. As you can see here, we've got a lot of diversity in this battle, and it should make it for a very interesting classic battle. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I'm just going to give you a heads up on our initial battle plan here. Okay, Mad King and myself are going to attack the Greek cities in a double team on the Greek cities, hoping that his Germania ally will see that he's being double teamed and commit the Germania troops. Well, of course, Germania or any barbarian troops would die quickly on our spears and pikes. So that's the initial plan there. The two of us are going to attack the Greek cities there. Hopefully, the Germania ally will then try and help his Greek cities ally, and hopefully our spears and pikes will be able to kill those barbarian troops quickly. Okay, at this stage of the battle, you can see, as I say, myself and Mad King moving towards the Greek cities. But if you notice here, can you see Dionysus with his 17 infantry and 3 cavalry is moving very aggressively towards our Pontus ally. But look at the distance between him and his allies. He has become a little bit isolated there. And if you notice, if we decided to hit him now, he's a long way from any allies' support. So the battle plan now may well have changed from going from the Greek cities here to hitting Dionysus. Okay, he's got 17 urban cohorts and 3 cavalry, which is a pretty strong army there. But he is a bit exposed. Can you see? A little bit exposed there, and a little bit isolated from his teammates. So our battle plan now has changed. Obviously now, because you can see here, we're going to hit the enemy Julii troops here. Let's just pause the game for a second. So now, because he's so isolated from his allies, that you can see there's a massive gap there. So now Mad King's going to charge into him. Our Pontus ally here, Barak, he's going to charge into it, and I'm now running my Macedon army over there as well. So the three of us are looking to treble team Dionysus here on our left flank. Okay, let's say he's a long way away from his allies. He was, I don't know whether he's maybe overconfident there with his army against Pontus. But as you can see here, he is certainly isolated and certainly exposed there to a big hit from 3 armies. Okay, so this is what we're going to do here. We're looking to hit him here on our left flank. But as I say, when you've got 17 urban cohorts, that is a very strong Roman army there. So it'll be interesting to see if we can do what we want here, which is obviously try and take his army out before his allies can get to him. Time is the essence here, as that saying goes. We need to hit him fast and hard and try and take his army out before his allies can get to him. If you notice here, you can see his allies have seen that he's in trouble and are running reinforcements over as fast as they can. Okay, so you can see that. But as I say, I'm running my pikemen over as fast as I can. A lot of the enemy cavalry moving over to try and help him there. But as I say, time is the essence. Speed is the essence here. We need to engage him and try and take out as many units as we can before his allies can get to us. Right, can you see here how he's attacking the moving Carthage pikeman, spearman there? Very aggressive move there by Dionysus. And don't forget, he's got loads of pilers to be able to throw in to our Carthage Sacred Band ally. You can see he's going to throw those pilers in, so he's going to suffer a lot of casualties from those pilers. Plus you can see the enemy troops coming up from behind him, plus there are enemy archers shooting into the rear of him as well. Right now Barak needs to smash into those Julii troops as fast as he can with his Pontus army, because as I said before, speed is the essence here. We need to be able to take out as many of those Julii units as we can before his allies get over. Let's pause the game for a second. Right, so you can see Mad King here, he's in a bit of a delicate position here. He's trying to attack those Julii troops, but he's also got a lot of enemy troops coming up behind him here. So if he's not careful, he's going to be sandwiched between Julii, Greek cities and Seleucid. Plus there's a lot of enemy cavalry on his flank. Okay, so, and you can see our Pontus ally there needs to attack quite quickly. I've run my Macedon army as fast as I can over there. I want to hit the Julii units there as fast as I can as well. But you can see it's going to be a close race here. Right, can you see some Julii cavalry charging into the flank of those Carthage Sacred Band, and bang, as that cavalry smashes in there, causing a lot of casualties to those Carthage Sacred Band units. That was a nice aggressive cavalry hit there. As you can see, my Macedon units have nearly reached the enemy Julii troops there. But as I say, don't forget Dionysus there. He's got 17 urban cohorts. That's a mighty army there of really good elite infantry. So you can see I'm charging my Macedon pikemen straight into those units. But there's a lot of archer fire here shooting into my units as I'm moving. So I'm suffering casualties from archers. I've got my 5 Cretan archers there, and I'm targeting the enemy chosen archers there with my archers there, trying to take out as many of them as I can, because don't forget, my Macedon army is incredibly susceptible to missile damage, so I need to do that. If you notice here, can you see our ally Corn Dog is running over as fast as he can, but as it stands at the moment, there's a lot of enemy reinforcements have reached their ally now, and as you can see, our Carthage ally is now being sandwiched between Greek cities and the enemy Julii units there. So poor old Mad King is in a bit of a bad situation there, being sandwiched between that, and you've got lots of Seleucid pikemen running in. You've got a Germania faction coming over as well. But as I say, our aim here, our battle plan here, is to try and take out this Julii army, or as many units as we can, before the main enemy armies get here. So as you can see here, I've ran my Macedon units straight in there, pikes up. As soon as I made contact, put the pikes down, and we now move slowly into those Julii troops. You see our Pontus ally, Barak, is attacking quite aggressively here as well. But don't forget, with so many big 120-man units in this battle, of course there's going to be a little bit of lag. So for the first part of the battle here, you'll notice that the game is a little bit laggy there because we've got so many 120-man units. But as more units are killed, you'll find the game will speed up. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second. You can see Crypto here charging his Cataphract cavalry into the flank of our Pontus ally there. He knows Pontus' morale's not very good. You can see Pontus has actually got his chariots involved in that battle as well against that cavalry. And as I say, I've got my Macedon units here moving very slowly into those enemy Julio units. But poor old Mad King, look, he's being hit from 3 sides. He's got units here trying to protect his army from that cavalry hit there. It was Germania. He's got Julii in behind him, and he's got these Seleucid, fresh Seleucid and Greek city units hitting him as well here. So poor old Mad King's in a really, really difficult position there, I think. So as I say, we're still trying to take out this Julii army as fast as we can. But as I say, with 17 urban cohorts, that is a lot to ask, I think, really. As I say, our Pontus ally here advancing in slowly with his pikemen there. As I say, the Seleucid General Crypto there just charged in with his cavalry, trying to probably start a chain rout with Pontus, knowing that their morale's not very good. But as you can see, my Macedon units there moving into those Julio units. The enemy Germania troops have just arrived there with all those spear units. But I can see some of Mad King's units are starting to rout already. See this Germania cavalry charging in there. Bang! As that cavalry charges straight in there. They're trying to create a mass routlet, you see. If they can get some of those Carthage Sacred Band units to start routing there with all those enemy troops, so they could have a chain rout. That's what they're trying to do with these cavalry hits. Let's just pause the game for a second. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of our Carthage Sacred Band allies units are starting to crack now under the pressure. I'm not surprised there. They got Seleucid pikemen, Greek city spearmen, Germania cavalry charging in from the rear. So poor old Mad King, as I say, is in a really difficult position there, and he's done incredibly well to hold as long as he can, but I've got a feeling those units are going to start to rout. As you can see, Steve's got his archers over there shooting arrows into Mad King all the way through that battle, causing casualties. I've got Macedon units here moving towards, as I say, still attacking the Julio units there. And we've got Corn Dog's SPQR units there moving over as fast as he can to us, but he's still a long way away. Okay, and he needs to hit into those Julio units or into the rear of those engaged enemy units there. Let's say our initial plan, as I say, was to attack Greek cities, but then we changed it to try and attack the Julii army here, and we're trying to take the Julii army out. But you can see Germania here moving his spear units forward. Trying to he's either going to engage or he's going to try and hold up our Corn Dog ally there. Okay, that's the Carthage Sacred Band general's just been taken out. Okay, Carthage Sacred Band general's just been taken out, so those Carthage units are going to start to rout really soon, I think. He's held it incredibly well against the odds that were up against him. You can see Pontus here moving forward as well. But between us, can you see Pontus and my army there have sandwiched those Julio units? They're trying to take out that Julio general is our aim. If we can do that, then there we are. The Julio general is just gone, so of course that's taken morale away from the enemy troops, which is just what we wanted to do. But you can see those enemy Seleucid pikemen have come round there as well. And I think here, I think Barak is going to take his Pontus pikemen into the Seleucid enemy pikemen there. And I'm going to move my Macedon troops towards Greek cities. Right, let's just pause the game for a second, take stock exactly what's happened. Okay, so basically all our allied Sacred Band units have now been taken out. Okay, after a fierce fight there, Mad King did extremely well to hold as long as he did, but now all his units have been taken out. Okay, you can see Barak, as I say, his Pontus units are going to head towards Seleucid, try and take them on, and I'm going to move my Macedon units towards Greek cities. You see, our SBQR ally has just arrived here. My guess is he'll probably try and take on that those Germanic spearmen. Okay, so there's a general overview of the battle as it stands at the moment. Okay, I've been targeting the Germanic general with my archers for a long time there, and I just managed to take him out, so I'm pleased about that. As I say, this battle was fought on Friday the 13th, but I wonder who Friday the 13th is going to be unlucky for, us or them. As you can see here, my Macedon pikemen moving forward into the Greek cities there. Trying to be aggressive with my pikemen there. I don't just want to stand there being passive. I want to be aggressive towards those Greek city units. You see our Pontus ally there moving into Seleucid pikemen there as well. He's being aggressive with those Pontus long pikemen there. As you can see here, crashing into those Greek cities with my Macedon units there. Trying to cause as many casualties as I can, trying to weaken those Greek cities as much as I can there. But as we know, Greek cities are elite. Those Spartans are elite troops with their 2 hit points and really impressive attacking specifications. Let's just pause the game for a second. Okay, can you see a Berserker unit has been activated by JGP? See, intimidated by nearby enemy. Let's see, he knows Pontus morale's not very good, so lowering their morale even more by putting a Berserker unit on them could cause a mass rout. You can see Steve's tactically moving his archers round. Probably want to get in behind us there to shoot arrows into the rear of our engaged troops there. Nice tactical move by Steve there with his archers. There's lots going on all over the battlefield here. You can see JGP's got 2 Berserkers here. Now what he wants to target, he wants to target our SBQR ally, Roman ally there. Obviously he doesn't want to target any of our pike or spear units, but he would like to target our SBQR ally there. You can see Germanic cavalry charging into our SBQR ally. Right, can you see Corn Dog's SBQR troops here trying to surround the Germanic spearmen there, try and take them out. But as I say here, you can see, I think Bark with his Pontus troops there are making good inroads into the Seleucid pikemen there. You can see he's starting to rout those Seleucid pikemen, which is good news for us. So he's doing really well there. But if you notice, my Macedon army is sandwiched. Let's just pause the game for a second. I'm sandwiched between Greek cities and Seleucid pikemen coming in behind me. So my pikemen are not in a very good position there. And as you can see, it's like a Macedon sandwich there between Greek cities and Seleucid. And as we know, Macedon morale's not very good anyway, so it wouldn't surprise me if my unit starting to rout like that would cause a mass rout. As you can see Dionysius' Julii troops are in Testudo facing our SBQR ally. But a lot of Germanic units are starting to rout now. Okay, but 2 of the Berserker units have now been activated. Okay, so of course, when those Berserkers get near our troops, they lower the morale of our troops, making them more susceptible to routing. Wouldn't surprise me if that Pontus pike unit there, because the morale is so low, all of a sudden decided to rout. Okay, but here in the main part of the battlefield, you can see both Seleucid, enemy Seleucid and Greek cities pushing in on my Macedon units. And now all my Macedon pikemen basically have now been taken out. Okay, so basically all my pikemen now are dead. Okay, and all I've got left now in my army is 5 archers. That's all I've got left now in my army. Okay, so I was sandwiched there. There's Julii units attacking me as well. I was shooting arrows into the rear of those engaged troops. You can see Seleucid cavalry charging into our SBQR ally. As I say, those Berserkers are now activated. As I say, it wouldn't surprise me if that Pontus, you see that Pontus pike unit just routed there from those Berserker units, lowering its morale and attacking it as well. So as you can see, our SBQR allies in a lot of trouble. 2 Berserkers hitting him, Seleucid cavalry hitting him here. And looking at the state of the battle, seeing all my Macedon units routing now, I would think the end will be pretty close now, I would think, and well done to the enemy team there, I think. As I say, Steve's been using his archers extremely tactically here, shooting in. Can you see all the dead, burnt bodies there? That's where Steve's been shooting fire arrows into the rear of that Pontus unit there, and causing all those casualties there, point blank almost, into the rear of those engaged Pontus pikemen. So as I say here, well done to the enemy team there. As I say, the battle, I'm pretty sure will be over pretty quickly now. As I say, all my units have been routed, except for my archers. We've managed to rout some of the Germanic units there. Well done to Corn Dog for that. But as you can see, you've got Berserker units, and you've got Seleucid cavalry charging into our SBQR ally there. So, as I say, I don't think it'll be very long before the battle's over there. A nice tactical play by the enemy team there. As I say, we did try to take out the Julii army quickly, but we just couldn't do that, and I think that's going to cost us there. So really well played to the other team. All right, can you see here? Bark is bringing a pike unit over to help his ally against that Seleucid cavalry and those 2 Berserker units. If you notice here, you can see the Seleucid cavalry have alt attacked with their effective against armor maces. Okay, but that was a nice bit of teamwork there by Bark bringing a pike unit over there to help his ally against that Seleucid cavalry and those berserkers. Remember, berserkers and cavalry can die quite quickly on pikes, and that's why he's brought that unit over to support his ally. Right, see the Seleucid cavalry charging in now. Bang! As they charge in. I think probably Crypto there was hoping that the weight and power of his cavalry would break those units in front of him. But with that Pontus pike unit there, in coordination with his SBQR ally, he could rout that cavalry, and which he's done. Okay, so all that Seleucid cavalry have just been routed there by those that pike unit there and those 2 SBQR units. So that's good for us, routing all that cavalry. There's still 1 berserker unit left, but my guess is coming up against pikes there, that would die quite quickly. So we've done well there on that particular part of the battlefield. As you can see, Corn Dog still got archers and infantry left there. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses those. But here you can see the elite Spartans going up against Pontus. Now remember, Pontus is looked upon by a lot of people as a lesser 31k faction. And if you notice, there's Julii troops and Seleucid troops in behind our Pontus ally, as well as those Greek cities slowly pushing in on him as well. Okay, so it looks like with all those enemy troops attacking our Pontus ally, and that's the Pontus generals just been killed. So all the Pontus pikemen have just been taken out. Okay, I think that's basically all the Pontus. There might be 1 Pontus unit left there. So that's the situation as it stands at the moment. We've still got our SBQR ally left with a lot of infantry, but up against Greek cities, maybe not that good. As I say, Steve's been using his cheap archers here, but extremely effectively all around the battlefield, very tactically, moving around to different parts, I've noticed, and he's been shooting fire arrows into our troops there, obviously lowering the morale of our troops as well as causing casualties. Okay, so we're going to move into kind of phase 2 of the battle now, where you've got all those Greek city units plus the enemy Julii infantry there, plus some Seleucid cavalry units there, basically against our SBQR ally, because the rest of our armies have kind of basically been taken out. What I'm going to try and do, and I'm going to move my archers around tactically. I want to get them in a position where I can shoot into the rear or flank of engaged enemy troops. Okay, because I've got a feeling here Steve's going to be aggressive with his Greek cities. He always likes to be aggressive with them, making the most of their great attacking specifications. And my guess is that he'll probably attack those SBQR troops head on, and if he does that, then that's going to allow me to shoot my fire arrows into the flank and rear of his units there. As I say, moving archers around tactically is a good thing. But there's a couple of Seleucid cataphract cavalry and enemy archers in behind us there. Those archers are targeting our SBQR allies cavalry at this stage. So as I say, I've moved my archers around tactically, but I don't want those cataphract cavalry charging into my archers, obviously. Right, if you notice, we thought here Steve was going to be very aggressive, and he's going to attack with his Greek city units here. As I say, making the most of those great attacking specifications and those 2 hit points. See, our SBQR allies done the right thing, putting that unit into Testudo, makes it difficult for spear and pike arm units to kill him. But if you notice here, can you see that Corn Dog's tactically moving infantry round behind Steve here? Okay, there's some enemy Julii units there, but Corn Dog's going to be looking to move tactically round Steve, I think. Right, can you see that cataphract cavalry unit coming from my archers there? So I just hope that my SBQR ally can take out that cataphract unit there, so I can use my archers effectively on Steve's Greek city units. Okay, just newer players from Total War. Look how Corn Dog's moving his SBQR units around him. He's got units pinning and holding the front units of those Greek cities there, while he moves other units around the rear. That's a really nice tactical move there. Go for the weakest part of Greek cities, which is the flank and the rear. And if you notice, the SBQR ally here has basically surrounded Steve and probably going to hit him from all sides when he's ready. I'm shooting fire arrows into those Greek city units as well. There you go. Can you see the SBQR ally? Our SBQR ally now charging him from the rear and flanks, as well as he's got those units holding and pinning the Greek cities at the front. Nice surrounding move there. Plus, as you can see, my fire arrows going into Steve's units there. And as you can see there, we've managed to rout most of those Greek city units there. And my guess is, there we go, that's all the Greek city's army has now been taken out. But my guess is, because Steve did so well against my Macedon units and our Pontus ally here, that he's going to get some mega kills in this battle. I think we've just taken out the last of the enemy Julii units as well. As I say, that was a nice surrounding tactic there by our SBQR ally. Steve's still got some archers there, but my guess is he'd probably admit defeat pretty quick. As I say, he's been using those archers extremely well. Yep, he's just admitted defeat. He's done, as I say, using those archers extremely well all around the battlefield, very tactically. So there's let's just pause again for a minute just to have a look at the intensity of the battle. Now here's where poor old Mad King got sandwiched between Greek cities, Seleucid and Julio troops, plus cavalry hitting him as well. I thought he held incredibly well there. And over here you can see a lot of Germanic dead. Can you see the red trousers of those Germanic spearmen there? You can see how many are dead there, all in that massive pile there. So that goes to show how many casualties the SBQR ally did to them. But here you can see the intensity of the pike and the spear battles there, by just looking at the massive piles of dead in that particular area. As you can see, that was the most intensive part of the battlefield there. So as I say, our team is lucky enough to be able to go on and win this battle there. So well done to our team, but we're really well done to the other team as well there. Okay, the first thing I draw your attention to is an average victory. I thought it would have been a close victory myself, but it was average. But straight away, I'd like to draw your attention to the highest kills in the game. Steve Longshanks with that Greek city formation and army that he's been using a lot lately. 2,456. 2,456 kills. Now that's what Greek cities can do when they go up against the big 120-man units. Okay, he took out my Macedon and he took out Pontus as well. Big 120-man units, and that's the kills you get when you do that. So really well done to Steve Longshanks there. 2,456, and he was in the losing team. Crypto and Dionysus both did extremely well as well. Got some good kills. Well done, you two. I don't think JGP got the kills he wanted to there, but maybe that was because of the army build. I don't think those Germanic spearmen are very good, really. Bark, look at Bark for Pontus, a lesser 31k faction, 1,880 kills. I don't think it is a lesser 31k faction. Really well done to him. Some really nice kills there. So I'd just like to say, I really like the diversity in this battle. Macedon, Pontus, Carthage, Rome, Seleucid, Germania, Greek cities, Rome. I mean, what a great diverse lot of factions there for this battle, and that's what I hoped you enjoyed it watching with all those different factions. Okay, so Spartan Commander say please leave a comment if you like. Look forward to seeing you soon, and bye for now.